This is Mark Bell from SuperTraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West. Got a guy here asking me about his routine. He lists his routine, basically says all the different things that he does, talking about his weekly breakdown, how he does squats on one day, and so on. But where this is flawed, I really wish I could pronounce his first name, but I have no idea how to do so. Looks like he's foreign. I guess I'll call him Alice, because it's like Alessandro or something like that, from Brazil. And thank you for writing in. But he has this kind of long-winded question about his routine. And the problem with the routine is that it's routine. You shouldn't really have a routine necessarily. You should be ready to go, be ready to lift. You should learn how to lift so you can adjust on the fly. You'll be much better off that way. You don't want to get settled into any one particular routine, such as seeing these jackasses at these local gyms, these local commercial gyms, and seeing them stay the same all the time. You know, you see them week in and week out, and they're just not getting any better. And if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And one of the reasons for it is just lack of knowledge. I think everybody wants to get better, but some people only kind of want to get better. They don't have the real desire to take further steps and further action into asking people like myself questions, or asking people in the gym questions that are big and jacked and tan. A lot of people only kind of want to be good at something. They don't want to push the envelope. They don't want to push too hard. I've saw an interview one time with Steve Young, and he said, Peyton Manning is amazing, and Tom Brady is amazing, and Eli Manning is amazing. All these guys are amazing, but most people out there, if you have the talent, you could be 6'5", 230, 240, just like some of those guys are. You could be very smart, but most people don't want to go through the work. Most people don't want to go through the grind that they do, and that's why they're so exceptional. I remember Mike Tyson actually once said that if people stepped into my shoes, they'd cry. This is when he was champion of the world. This is before he started biting people's ears off and stuff like that. But what he meant was, hey, dude, I'm getting up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm hitting the pavement, and I'm running. And I'm training for 12 hours every single day to be the best in the world. So with these kinds of things, when I get questions like this, I like to really point out the fact that you should not really be settling for like a routine necessarily, because this guy is saying that he squats, about 300 pounds every workout. Well, it doesn't make any sense. How are you going to get any better doing that? Why would you squat? And why would you stop at 300 pounds? If you made the lift, why would you stop? Why wouldn't you go up? What's holding you back? Or why are you training heavy every single time? And the lifts got to change. So what I would suggest to you, Alessandro, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly, first things first, go to EliteFTS.com and read the Periodization Bible Part 1 and Part 2. Everybody out there listening to this needs to read that. Periodization Bible, Part 1 and Part 2. Also, look into the 531 program from Jim Wendler. Also look into the West Side Book of Methods. The West Side Book of Methods is outstanding. It's one of the best books I've ever read on strength training. However, it can be a little complex if you're new to this whole thing. Talking about bands and chains, and maybe you don't even know how to squat yet, or maybe you don't even know how to do some of the basic movements yet. And maybe talking about bands and chains and things like that is a little bit past where you're at right now. Let's see. Let me make sure I got all his questions. Oh, he basically asked what he can do to improve his training. I've already pointed that out. Look into some of these other resources. SuperTraining.tv is a non-stop resource that you're going to be able to kind of learn information. If you do get this message, hit me back with something more specific so I can help you even further. And in the meantime, if you're confused, don't let that slow you down. Go in the gym and still train hard, still work out hard. That's all the tips I got for you tonight. That's it from supertraining.tv.